Hi, welcome friend. I'm Laia, and today's class is a yoga flow for beginners or anyone that wants to practice in a way that is layered, meaning I will be offering different variations so that you can build a sequence and a practice that is aligned with what you need and that works for your body and how you feel today. I have 2 blocks because that helps me make the practice more accessible for me. But if you don't have them, that's absolutely fine. All you need is your precious self and a sturdy and stable surface. That's why I recommend a yoga mat. Lie down on your back and bring your feet as wide as your mat or a little bit wider than your hips, allowing your knees to rest over one another. And your hands could relax on your belly, or maybe they rest next to your body. And let's just take 3 breaths together here as we arrive. Inhaling through your nose. Exhaling through your nose or your mouth. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more. Inhale, expanding into the belly, the rib cage, the chest. Exhale through your mouth, letting it all go. Maybe you make a little bit of sound. Observe yourself and your physical body soften into the earth just a bit more. And give yourself a moment to feel your physical body. Perhaps you become aware of tension or discomfort or even pain. Become aware of that, but also notice the gentle, open, and pleasurable spaces. Deep breath in. Long, slow breath out. Stretch your arms overhead. Stretch your legs away from you. Yawn if you'd like. Deep breath in. Maybe you squeeze all the muscles of your body as you stretch from toes to fingertips. And on your exhalation, bring your feet flat on the floor. Bring your arms next to you on the ground. Press the palms down, press the feet down, and stay here. Or on your next inhalation, lift your hips off the floor. And as you exhale, slowly lower them back down. Hug your right knee into your chest. Keep your left foot flat on the ground. And as you grab your right knee, you could catch over the shin or you could catch underneath the knee. Create a couple of circles with your right hip one way. And then the other, allowing your breath to invite the pace. 1 more breath. And slowly release your right foot next to your left once again. Arms next to your body, palms down. Inhale, stay or lift your hips up and off the floor. Exhale, lower your hips all the way back down. Hug your left knee into your chest this time. Stay here or take a couple of circles with your hip one way. And then the other. Starting to lubricate the joints. 1 more breath. And release your left foot next to your right. Feet firmly planted on the earth. Arms next to your body. Press down and stay. Or on your next inhalation, once again, lift your hips up. Lift your chest up toward your chin. Breathe in. Breathe out slowly, lower your hips all the way back down. Roll toward either side. Taking a moment in a fetal position. Maybe utilizing one of your arms as a pillow. And then slowly press yourself up to a seat. You could sit cross-legged or however feels best for you. Ground through your sitting bones, roll your shoulders down and back. Inhale. And as you exhale, move your rib cage a little bit to the right. Now start to take it forward and to the left and then back. And take 3 circles here with your upper body. There's no right or wrong way to do this, so just let yourself move. Again, starting to attune to the flow of your breath, of your energy. Pause at the center. Inhale to lengthen through the spine. And on your exhalation, this time move your rib cage to the left and then forward, the right, and back. Let your shoulders get involved. Maybe you let your neck get involved. 1 more breath. And next time your spine comes through center, stay there, ground through both sitting bones as evenly as feels good. And on your inhalation, reach your arms out and up. Interlace your hands, flip your palms up and stretch through the heels of the hands. Your elbows could stay soft or extended. Just notice what feels best for your shoulders and your arms here. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, lean just a little bit toward the left, opening the right side body. Maybe your gaze goes to the right as well. Notice if your right sitting bone is lifting up, press it down gently. Inhale back through center. Exhale, open up to the other side. Maybe your gaze goes over to the left. Inhale through center. And on your exhalation, flip your palms back down and draw your elbows down in front of you. They could stay separate or together. And then move your wrists here. Maybe in circles or in circle 8s. Making sure you go one way and then the other. Inhale. And as you exhale, shake your hands, shake your wrists. And start to bring yourself to a tabletop position, hands and knees. I invite you here to move your hips side to side once again, or find any movement that serves you. Maybe a few cat-cows, inhaling, dipping the belly and opening the front body. And exhaling, rounding the spine. Or any other movement that serves you here. Make sure that you grip your fingertips onto the earth to support your wrists. One more breath, inhale and exhale. Shift your weight forward and move your knees gently back, coming to a knee plank. Breathe in. Breathe out, lower yourself down to your abdomen. Point your toes back. Inhale, press your palms onto the earth, squeeze your elbows next to the rib cage. Lift your chest slowly. You don't have to go very high. Exhale, lower back down. 2 more like that. Inhale, slowly press and lift. Exhale to lower. 1 more, inhale. Exhale this time, press your hips back, walk your hands gently back and your knees gently forward until you find yourself back in your tabletop. As you inhale here, take your right leg behind you, keep your toes on the ground or let them float. And as you exhale, bring your right knee toward your chest, relax your head down toward the knee. Draw your belly button in and up, engage your core. Inhale, send your right leg behind you again. Extend the crown of your head forward. Exhale, right knee next to the left. Move your hips. Breathe in. Breathe out. Slow down the movement. This time, take your left leg behind you. Float the toes. Inhale. Exhale, draw your left knee to your chest. Head goes down toward the knee. Engage your core. Inhale, extend again. Exhale, left knee next to the right. Tuck your toes under this time. Send your hips back toward your heels. And you could stay here or bring the backs of your hands a little bit closer, maybe next to your knees, to the floor, to stretch your wrists once again. 1 more breath. Inhale and exhale. You could stay here or you could take your hands to your thighs and lift your chest, but it depends on how much sensation that's bringing to the soles of your feet. 1 more breath. Inhale. And on your exhalation, bring your hands back down to the floor. Shift your weight forward. Lift your toes, and you could tap them on the floor. Or if wherever you are, you can't make a lot of noise, lift your toes up, and then roll your ankles one way, and then the other. Now shift your weight forward once again, finding that knee plank position. Engage your core, and you could stay. Or if you want to engage the core even more and get the legs more involved, lift your knees off the ground and find a plank. One's not better than the other. Inhale. And on your exhalation, lower your knees if you lifted them. Squeeze the elbows to the sides of the body and slowly lower your torso all the way down in one piece. Point your toes back, hands underneath your shoulders. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, bring your hips back. Now you could stay here or walk your hands just a handprint forward or two, keeping your hips over the knees, and then allow your chest to relax a little bit more. And this is called puppy pose. If you wanted to, once again, get the legs a little bit more involved, grip through the hands firmly, tuck your toes, and send your hips up and back. But keep that extension from the fingertips through the arms, the rib cage, and all the way up to the hips. Perhaps the knees remain soft, or you walk out your downward dog by bending one knee and extending the opposite leg. 1 more breath wherever you are. Inhale and exhale. Whether you're in puppy pose or downward dog, come back to your tabletop. Hands and knees. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Inhale, take your right leg back. Flex your foot. Exhale, draw your right knee to the chest, engage your core. And then you could step your right foot directly by itself, yeah, between your hands. Or maybe you need to grab the ankle with your right hand and you give it a little bit of help until the foot is right between the hands. If you have your blocks, great place here to bring your blocks to frame your right foot and then start to lift your chest up. You could also bring your hands to your right thigh, or if there was a wall or something near you, you could use it for stability as well. Press down through your right foot as you draw your right hip gently back and your left hip slightly forwards. And maybe you stay, or your arms could reach up and your palms face toward one another in your low lunge. One more breath, inhale. And on your exhalation, lower your hands back down to your blocks. Move your right leg back to meet the left. Shift your weight forward toward your knee plank once again, or your plank, lifting the knees. Inhale. Exhale, this time shift your weight a little bit forward, and if your knees are off the floor, lower down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, float. You got this. And on your inhalation, turn the toes over, start to extend the arms, and lift your chest for upward dog. Or you could do a cobra once again. Lift your chest, open up, breathe in. Breathe out, knees to the ground, hips back. Or knees off the ground, hips back. Puppy pose, tabletop, downward dog. Take your pick. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more, breathe in. And breathe out, return to your tabletop. This time your left leg goes behind you as you inhale. Exhale, draw your left knee to your chest. Give it a little bit of help with your left hand, or perhaps you step your left foot on its own between your hands. Find your stability here. Maybe find your blocks. Stay there, or on your next inhalation, let your torso lift, your heart shine forward, and your arms maybe lift up on your next inhalation. Exhale here. One more, breathe in. Breathe out, bring your hands back down to your blocks or the floor. This time, lift your right knee off the floor. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, maybe you take a few steps until your right foot meets the left, or you could always take one big step forward. Feet are parallel to one another, hands are on the floor, your blocks, your thighs. Inhale, lift halfway, flat back. Exhale, soften your knees enough that you can start to surrender your abdomen over the thighs. Shift your weight a little bit more toward your toes. Let your spine hang heavy and your head relax. Maybe sway back and forth a couple of times. One more breath. And slowly rise. Inhale, arms out and up. Extend them, expand. Unite your palms overhead. Exhale, bring your hands together in front of your heart and then release them next to your body for mountain pose. Press evenly through your feet. Energize through your legs. Relax your tailbone slightly down and relax your shoulders away from your ears as the crown of your head presses up toward the ceiling or the sky. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, reach your arms out and up. Perhaps your gaze follows. Palms unite. Exhale, as your knees bend, draw the hands down the midline in front of you. Take your hands to your blocks or the floor. Relax your head down. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. This time, bend your knees enough that you can bring both hands to the floor. Step your feet back. You can choose here if your knees stay up or lower. Inhale. Exhale, lower your entire body down for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, open up to the front body for your back bend, upward dog or cobra, your choice. Exhale, you could take your knees to the floor, hips back for tabletop, or take your hips up and back for downward dog. Take a deep breath in and out to settle more into whatever shape you chose. Ground into your left leg, whether you're in tabletop or down dog, same thing. Inhale, take your right leg up and back. Flex through the foot, keep your hips square. Exhale, right knee to your chest, shift your weight forward, shoulders over your wrists, right foot between your hands. As always, you can give it a little bit of help. Your left knee can lower or stay lifted. Your hands can stay on the ground or on your blocks. Take one more breath here. And then start to pivot. If your left knee is down, start to pivot your left foot over to the right. If your left knee is up, start to pivot your left heel down to the ground. Draw your right hip toward the left side. And then slowly rise up. Rotate your left shoulder open over your left hip. And take your right arm forward and your left arm back. Bend into your right knee a little bit more. Inhale. And exhale. Now, whether your knee is down or lifted, as you inhale, take your arms up and stretch your front leg a little. And as you exhale, bend your front knee, take your arms back down to the horizon. Inhale, extend, reach. Exhale, bend. One more, inhale. Exhale. Bring your hands to your hips or to your blocks as you square your hips. Now, again, your knee could be down or not, so plank or knee plank. Inhale, shift your weight forward. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift your chest, cobra or upward dog. Exhale, bring your hips back for tabletop or for downward dog. Deep breath in. Long, slow breath out. Ground into your right leg. Inhale, this time take your left leg up and back. Exhale, draw your left knee toward your chest. Shift your weight forward. Eventually, your left foot comes between your hands. If your right knee, or first frame your left foot with your hands or your blocks, staying with your chest halfway lifted. So imagine you're creating a diagonal line between your right heel and maybe the right knee as well, through the spine and out the crown of the head. One more breath here. And then either pivot your right foot over to the left or your right heel over to the left. Notice if your left hip pops out, plug it back in and stay here, or slowly rise up. As you draw your shoulders over your hips, open up toward the right side. You could keep your hands on your hips as well, or extend your left arm forward and your right arm back as you find warrior two. You could stay in stillness, noticing what arises, or as you inhale, stretch your arms up, maybe stretch your left leg a little. And as you exhale, bend again into your variation of warrior two. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend. One more, breathe in. Breathe out, warrior two. Inhale here. Exhale, hands to your hips or back down to your blocks as you square your hips to the front. And this time, step your right foot back to the top of the mat. So again, maybe several steps or one big step. Hands to the floor or the blocks in front of you, flat back, breathe in. Breathe out, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Bring your blocks next to your feet this time, or your hands, and start to bend your knees as your heels lift off the floor and you lower your heels or your hips down toward your heels. You can stay here, or maybe you let one hand rest on your thigh and you play with that, or both. Remember that you have the blocks next to you and you can find them anytime. You could also play with closing one eye or both. See what happens. One more breath, inhale. And as you exhale, if your bum hasn't reached the floor yet, bring it down. Take a moment to wiggle your legs. Notice how it feels. And then keep your feet in front of you, about hip distance apart, hands underneath your thighs, lift your chest. Or you could bring your hands behind you on the floor. The idea is just to lift your chest toward your thighs and your thighs toward your chest, engaging your core. Maybe bring your toes a little bit closer and lift your heels. And from there you can start to play with maybe lifting one foot, lowering it down. Inhale, lifting the other, lowering it down. Perhaps the next time you lift one or both, inhale, exhale to lower. Now the other foot or both, inhale, exhale to lower. One more of each, or one or two more, or both, inhale, exhale. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Draw the knees out. Allow the soles of the feet to go toward one another. They don't need to touch. And as you exhale, let your chest melt down. You could bring a block or both on top of your feet or in front of them and relax your forehead. For some folks, the forehead maybe comes down to the feet, but it doesn't really matter actually. 2 more breaths wherever you are. And then slowly lifting yourself back up. Draw the knees toward one another and slide your left leg underneath the right. You could keep your right foot in front of the shin or over the knee. Depends on how much sensation you want to create. But notice if your right knee kind of dangles open, close it. Lengthen your spine as you breathe in. And twist to the right as you breathe out. Hugging your right knee or taking the elbow to the outside of the knee, whatever feels best for you. One more breath. Come back to the center as you inhale. And slowly release the legs. Maybe shake them out. Bring your hands behind you. Your fingertips could face toward your toes if your shoulders feel fairly open, or dial them back, to make it more accessible for the shoulders, or whatever feels best. Press your feet onto the earth, lift the chest, and maybe lift your hips as you breathe in, keeping your gaze forward. One more breath here. And on your exhalation, lower your hips down if you lifted them. This time, slide your right foot underneath your left leg, drawing your left foot either in front of the shin or across the knee. Lengthen your spine to breathe in. And as you breathe out, hug your left knee and twist to the left. Breathe. One more inhale. And on your exhalation, come back through center and cross your legs. Bring yourself to lie down, hugging both knees into your chest. Maybe you move a little side to side. Maybe you rather take circles with your knees. Both knees the same direction or alternating. And eventually let yourself stretch out. Maybe you extend your legs and your arms and you lie down. Maybe there's another position you want to take just for a couple of moments to let the practice integrate into your body. Let go of any breath work you might have been doing. Let go of any resistance to just being here as you are. Nothing left to do. Take a deep, deep breath in through your nose. Deepest breath you've taken all day. Let it expand front to back, side to side, top to bottom. Hold at the top. Side out. Start to move fingers and toes. Gently massage the back of your head as you move it side to side. Stretch out. Yawn. Eventually roll into either side and come up to a seat. Maybe you sit on one of your blocks. Rest your hands on your lap or your knees. Or if it resonates, bring one hand to your abdomen and one hand to your heart. Becoming aware of the flow of breath and energy, of your heartbeat, of the flow of being here, present, with everything else going on around you. Take a deep inhalation through your nose and let it go. Once you feel complete, you can open your eyes, you can release your hands. And I hope that you have enjoyed this short yoga flow for beginners, and that you come back to it to build the strength, the stamina, and to start to understand how some of these shapes work so that you can include them in other practices. Until we meet again, take care and be well.